Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Spectre here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going ahead and build the Kawasaki OH-1. The Kawasaki OH-1, nicknamed the Ninja, is a military scout observation helicopter developed and manufactured by Kawasaki Aerospace Company. The primary operator is the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, who originally procured the OH-1 as a domestically produced successor to their existing OH-6D Loach fleet. The OH-1 has the distinction of being the first helicopter to be entirely produced in Japan. In addition to its use as an observation helicopter, it can be also armed with various munitions to directly participate in combat, such as weapons include a limited quantity of anti-tank missiles or air-to-air missiles for self-defense purposes. Several variants of the OH-1 have been proposed. These have included derivatives of the type to serve as an attack helicopter, as well as an aborted project to develop a utility helicopter. As of March 2014, a total of 38 OH-1s have entered service with the JGSDF. So far, these complement the existing OH-6Ds rather than replace them. So yeah, the OH-1 here, a very cool looking helicopter, I must say, and kind of a unique one in the sense that it's really the first locally and kind of domestically produced Japanese military helicopter, which is pretty cool, and kind of a fun vehicle to have on our world, and maybe our only one we have really for Japanese for quite some time until they produce some more helicopters. But a pretty fun little scout helicopter. It looks super modern for what it is, which I absolutely love, and it's actually a pretty small little helicopter, but really does look really nice and is going to fit awesome into a kind of modern conflict and having the Japanese self-defense force basically in play. Before we go and jump in and taking a look at the build, I do want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel where you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is down in the video description where you can put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a view core request of your choosing. I really hope support the work I would do on my channel is really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check it out if you are interested. Anyways, with that though, let's go ahead and move in and take a look here at the OH-1. So this OH-1 here, you can see it's pretty standard, like typical OH-1s here. It's got the green and brown camouflage. What does distinct it a little bit is we went ahead and put some missile pods on the side here, and from what they look like, they appear to be anti-tank missile pods. So basically it looks like they have a pod of 2 missiles on both sides, so a total of 4 possible anti-tank missiles, as well as looks like drop tanks. So I would imagine external fuel tanks on this as well. Since it is a scout helicopter, it makes sense to try to give it a little bit of extra range with those tanks on the side there. So pretty nice helicopter all over. The little armaments there I thought were a good addition to it in that sort of sense. Now we have the cockpit over here. Obviously it has 2 pilots, or 2 crew members, obviously the pilot and probably the weapons and probably scouting equipment operator. As we continue to work our way back, we have the 2 engines on the side here, the props, and we have the whole tail rotor and all that stuff, which is one of those unique tail rotors that's kind of fully encompassed in the tail like so. I really like these kind of helicopters. I think they're super unique and super cool looking, so happy to build another one of those, as we really don't have too many of these in our arsenal. But overall, pretty cool helicopter. Should be a fun build to have. We only have the in-flight version for this tutorial, just due to the fact that this aircraft would sit at an angle if it was basically parked or landed. So we only have the in-flight version for you guys here today. But yeah, again, going to be an awesome helicopter to add into any of your Modern Warfare type scenarios. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer here, we'll be going ahead and starting off with layer number 2. Now we're starting with layer 2 because it gives us a better basis of the helicopter to go ahead and start from, and just overall this is kind of a good starting point. So one thing I do want to mention is if you're completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials, I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we'll be building the center line of the helicopter, and then the right side. It'll be up to you guys to take the right side and copy it over to the left side. It's pretty simple and straightforward for a helicopter and really small, so it shouldn't be any problems, but just know that this aircraft is For the most part, completely symmetrical, so whatever we do on one side will probably be done to the other. If there are any differences, I will be sure to let you guys know, but for the most part, just plan on everything being basically the same on both sides. Now, at this point, I also want to mention that we will be doing the camouflage at the end as a add-on. I'll be talking about how to go ahead and go about adding the camouflage for your own. We will not be doing this in the tutorial, not in the tutorial, but we won't be doing this as we build through the actual model. It makes it a little bit easier just to do it in one solid color, so we don't have all these different blocks we have to keep in our inventory. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be placing down a Dark Oak top stem. We're going to then place down a Dark Oak trapdoor coming off that top stem, followed by a Dark Oak sign, which will be on both sides of that trapdoor. From this top slab back, we're going to place down an upside down Dark Oak stair, green terracotta block, polished andesite block, 2 green terracotta blocks, polished andesite block, 3 green terracotta blocks, Dark Oak upside down, or Dark Oak top stem, Dark Oak upside down stair, top slab on the back of that stair, and a Dark Oak trapdoor. We're going to go then skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block spaces back, and we're going to go and place down a Wither Skeleton skull, which is going to drop down, and this right here is going to be positioned on a block underneath here. So it's going to look something like this here for the back. You can then delete these blocks, and again that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 blocks of space between this Wither Skeleton skull and this slab here. After that's done, that's going to create our center line there for the aircraft. Moving to the sides, we're going to place down a zombie head on the side of this stair here, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green stained glass panes, and then a zombie head coming off this glass pane here, a Dark Oak trapdoor after the zombie head, and then a Dark Oak fence post after that. That right there is going to basically complete what's on the right side, and you're going to take the same thing and copy it over to the left side. That right there will conclude what we have for layer number 1, layer number 2, and with that we're going to go and drop down to layer number 1. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 1. For layer 1, we're going to go to the bottom of these Dark Oak trapdoors. We're going to place down a block of coal, underneath these fence posts. It's going to be a block of coal on both sides here. So just like that, we want to go ahead and place down a lever coming out the block of coal going forward. An item frame on both sides of the block of coal with a green stained glass pane in those item frames. And obviously the same thing will be done over here on this side as well. And a lever like that. Also, if you're on Java Edition, we can go ahead and place down a Dark Oak button on the side of the block of coal as well. So it's on the side of the coal block with the item frames. That is a feature that's going to be available on Java. If you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you'll not be able to place down a button and item frame in the same block space. If that's the case, just go ahead and disregard the button and place down the item frames. I would choose those priority over the buttons. So just a heads up on that one. But that right there is it for layer 1. Pretty simple stuff. And with that, let's go ahead and move up to layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we're moving into layer 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with, we're going to go to the Dark Oak trapdoor on the front here. We're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of it. We're going to place down 1 block that goes forward from it, and then 1 block that goes back, so you have a row 3 there in total. We're going to go then place down 2 black stained glass full blocks. We're going to go then place down 3 black concrete blocks to close the space on or off. You don't really have much space for an interior, so we're going to go ahead and build it basically completely without an interior. You can leave some space open if you do want to try to fit one, but again, as I mentioned, you're really not going to have much room to fit anything. So we're just going to close this off with some black concrete to fill in any voids or anything like that that would be left open with having the canopy and glass and stuff like that exposed. With that though, we're going to then go back from the black concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 green terracotta blocks back. I'm going to double check my count here, make sure that's correct, and it is going to be 10 green terracotta blocks. We're going to go then place down a Dark Oak top slab, and then 1, 2, and 3 mossy cobblestone walls. Going to the bottom of this first green terracotta block that sticks out past this trapdoor, we're going to place down a lever that's going to flick back like so. And we can go ahead and then do a technique here using a debug stick. If you're on Java, we can go ahead and grab or place down a block like so. We'll go ahead and use our command /give @p, and we can just type in debug and it should auto pop up. Press tab and you have your command here. This is going to be /give @p minecraft :debug_stick, and you can go ahead and press enter, give yourself the stick. We can place down a lever here on the side of this block, select the face, so it should be selected face. Currently it says wall. We're going to go ahead and change it to be ceiling, and then we can go ahead and change the facing. So selected face north. For me, it will be south that we're facing. Obviously, depending on the orientation of your helicopter, it may be different, but it's going to get attached to the bottom of that wall, and we'll create a design that looks like that. Now, if you do not have access to a debug stick, very simply, you can place down a full block where that wall is. That will also work right here, so you can place down a full block if you really want to, and place down the lever that comes down. Either way will work, but this way here is obviously the most preferred one if you're able to. Going to the sides, we're going to place down a green stained glass pane coming off this block here. Then 1 and 2 mossy cobblestone walls. a dark oak wood slab, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mossy cobblestone walls back, and then 3 green stained glass panes after that. We're going to go then place down a zombie head that's going to be basically coming off this wall right above this fence post. And then grabbing ourselves a item frame. We're going to place down an item frame on the side of this wall. And in that item frame, we're going to place down a tripwire hook, which we're going to rotate facing downwards. We're going to go then place down 2 green shulker boxes. So 1, 2 coming off each other like so. And then a zombie head coming off this shulker box like that going toward the rear. To the side here, we're also going to place down 3 dark oak wood top slabs. Like so for our armament system. And these are going to be these missile pods that I talked about earlier. We then want to go and place down item frames. In those, we're coming off the both sides of those top slabs. We're going to place down black beds in those item frames, rotate them so they're on their side. And dark oak wood signs on the side of the slabs here if you are able to place them with the item frames. And then on the side here, these 3 slabs, you can just place down dark oak wood signs like that to make those pods there, like so. And with that all complete, that is going to wrap up what we have there for layer 3. Take a look at it from up above. That's what it should look like from the top-down view. With that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 4. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. Now one quick thing I want to add on is on the back here, coming off this wall, we are going to place down a zombie head coming off this wall on the very end there, just to kind of help create a little bit of a smoother transition to this back section here. Again, if you have a debug stick, we can also go ahead and change our orientation, so we can have this actually face and basically connect up to this zombie head like so. So you can go ahead and do that there by extending the wall out there by changing the selected basically face pretty much, or selected, you know, side or whatever direction, and you can actually do that if you want to. Just know that it might mess with your lever a little bit, so you may have to add that lever back on if you do need to. But anyways, going ahead and continuing on, we're going to go and start by going to the front here. We're going to place down a dark oak wood slab that's going to go on top of this green terracotta block. If you are on Java, I would recommend placing down a piston. We'll be using our debug stick here to change this a little bit later. If you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you can go ahead and throw a dark oak wood stair in this position instead. We're going to go ahead and place down 3 black stained glass blocks back, and then after that, a row of 2 of black concrete. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 green terracotta blocks back, a iron bar, and an air green terracotta block on the end. Going back up to the front, we're going to place down a zombie head here at a slight angle like this, and then one that's straight on like so, a black stained glass pane, 2 narrow brick walls, 1, 2, 3 mossy cobblestone walls, and then after that, we're going to place down a dark oak wood up down stair, 1, 2, 3, 4 mossy cobblestone walls, and then 1, 2, 3 green stained glass panes like that going back. We then have this banner design, which is pretty simple. It's a green banner for red dot. And basically all it is there. So I'm not going to go ahead and go into much detail on how to make that banner specifically, but just a green banner, red dot, and you pretty much have that Japanese logo there on the side. We're going to then place down 1, 2, and 3 dark oak wood trapdoors out to the side there for the horizontal stabilizers, as well as dark oak wood trapdoors on the side of these 2 green terracotta blocks. With that done, going to our sides, continuing on, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some item frames here again. And we're going to place down an item frame that will be coming off this mossy cobblestone wall here, and a tripwire hook in it, rotated facing downwards, so kind of up and at an angle like that from it. We then want to place down a dark oak wood upside down stair here, and then a narrow stair coming off of this like that, so you have 2 upside down stairs like so, as well as 2 levers on top of these blocks like that, flick toward those stairs. And then lastly, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, and 3 of dark oak wood trapdoors like that right along the side there. And at this point, also on the sides, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves some item frames and some green, and we're also going to grab some lime green. This right here is one of the many differences. This is going to be a item frame on the back of the stair, and in that item frame, on the right side, we're going to place down a lime green concrete block. On the left side, we're going to place down a red concrete block. So just take note of that, because basically there's 2 differences there for the navigation lights. So just make sure you're paying close attention to that. And we're going to then place down a dark oak wood sign again if you're available to. So again, we have the red on the left side and lime green on the right side there for those navigation lights. But once we have that all done there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have for layer number 4 for the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5, before we go and move into it, if you are on Java, we want to go ahead and make one quick adjustment here to the front, and that's going to be going ahead and go into this piston here. We're just going to go ahead and take the piston, right click it, and have that extended to true to go ahead and change it like this to make this design. Again, if you are on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, a dark oak wood stair would work perfectly in that position. Anyways, after that, we're going to go ahead and place down an air brick slab on top of this black concrete block. Going back from the nether brick side, we're going to place down 3 black concrete blocks, then 4 green green terracotta, then a dark oak wood stair, a stair coming off the stair facing the opposite direction, a slab on the back of the stair, 2 daylight detectors, 2 dark oak wood trapdoors, a green terracotta block, a iron bar, green terracotta, iron bar, and a mossy cobblestone wall here on the end. After that, we're going to go ahead and start working our way out to the sides. We're going to begin with by placing down a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle on top of that wall, followed by a green stained glass pane back, 2 black stained glass panes, and 2 mossy cobblestone walls after that. We're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks, a dark oak wood corner stair coming off this stair right here, and then a zombie head on top of this wall right here. After that, we want to go ahead and go back to this green terracotta block here and place down a dark oak trapdoor on the side of it, and then a item frame on the side of this green terracotta block and a green terracotta block in that item frame. Then going off this wall, we're going to place down an item frame, green terracotta block, and a dark oak sign there on the side of that block or that wall there if you are able to. With that all done, going ahead and continue to work our way out to the sides. We're going to place down 2 green carpets on top of those 2 dark oak wood down stairs for your wings there. We're going to then place down a polished blackstone wall here with a dark oak wood trapdoor coming off the side of it. We're going to then place down a green terracotta block here, a narrow dark oak wood trapdoor next to it, a block on netherite, and a narrow dark oak wood trapdoor coming off the block on netherite. We're going to go then place down a wither skeleton skull that's going to come off the side here like so, and then one coming off the back here of that skull like so for your exhaust there for the aircraft. And that right there will conclude what we have for layer number 5 here for the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 6. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to get started with here, we want to go and begin by placing down a grindstone on top of this black stained glass block here. We're going to go ahead and place down an item frame coming off of it with a black bed in the item frame. If you are on Java, we can also place down a lever on top of this second black stained glass block. However, again, if you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you won't be able to place the lever and the item frame in the same block space. And I would recommend probably going with the item frame in this case, though the lever also wouldn't hurt. It's kind of really a toss-up, whichever one you think looks best for you guys. The item frame there just kind of adds a little bit of that optics that's on this little box here. But the lever there is basically the cutter in case this aircraft ran into power lines or cables or something. This would be able to snap those, preventing those from taking the helicopter down. So you kind of have to pick and choose what you want to do there. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. But let's go and continue on. We're going to then place down a block into the right after that, after that grindstone, followed by 2 green terracotta blocks, and then a mossy cobblestone wall. After that, we're going to then place down a zombie head on top of this dark oak wood stair here. Skipping back to the tail, on top of this green terracotta block, a green stained glass pane, a green terracotta block with a dark oak wood trapdoor to both sides, a iron bar, another green terracotta block, again with a dark oak wood trapdoor to both sides, and then a end rod here on top of that mossy cobblestone wall on the very end. Going to the sides up here in the front, we're going to place down a zombie head, which will be coming off the sides here of this grindstone. Then a mossy cobblestone wall, 2 green stained glass panes back, and that would basically be the fuselage. Moving into the sides here for our engines, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor there, followed by a rail like so, and a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this block of netherite. And once you have that all complete, that is going to conclude what we have there for layer number 6, and with that, we'll probably be going ahead and moving into our final layers. Should be layers 7, 8, and 9. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our final layers. Alright guys, so moving into our final layers here, we have layers 7 through 9. And in these layers, we're also going to be going ahead and building the rotors, which is something we don't typically do, but the rotors are pretty simple, so we'll just go ahead and basically do them in this combined with these layers. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the rotors. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the top of the block on the right. We're going to place down a polished blackstone wall. We're going to go ahead and go off this wall with a dark oak wood trapdoor, then 1, 2, 3, and 4 polished blackstone top slabs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 dark oak wood trapdoors coming off those polished blackstone top slabs. On top of the top slabs and the trapdoors, we're going to go ahead and place down black carpet, as well as a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this wall here. We're going to then go back, doing the same thing, so dark oak wood fence gate, 4 slabs, and 5 trapdoors. Again, black carpet on top. And we then want to go ahead and go to the sides with our dark oak wood trapdoor, fence gate, and then our 4 polished blackstone slabs, and then our dark oak wood trapdoors. Again, 5 out to the side. Black carpet on top. And that pretty much is all you really need to do for your rotors. You're going to take the same rotor, copy it over the other side, and it'll be good to go for those. After that's complete though, go into the tail. On top of this green terracotta block here, we're going to place down one, followed by a second one back, and then a green stained glass pane. We're going to go to this front one here, we're going to place down a green stained glass pane on top of it, a green terracotta block back, and then a mossy cobblestone wall after that. Then lastly on top of this green terracotta block, we're going to place down a dark liquid slab, and then a daylight detector. And on the very back here for this little radio antenna, we're going to go up and basically back from this end rod, and we're going to place down an iron bar like that for that little radio antenna. And once we have that all complete, that's going to basically do it for your basic structure here for the aircraft. Layer 7 and 9 complete. And with that, the last thing for us to really cover is talking about the camouflage. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Alright guys, so talking about the camouflage here, as I always recommend when it comes to doing these camouflages, the best thing really to do is to look up a real life example of the aircraft and try to kind of copy the camouflage from that, use the proportions and just the overall structuring of that to basically create the camouflage. And basically what we did here is we used a combination of spruce materials. So we used spruce wood slabs, the stripped spruce wood blocks, spruce trap doors, spruce signs, granite walls, and also some brown stained glass panes to just kind of throw in some stripes here. And these stripes do kind of wrap around the fuselage, so they kind of go around this side and they come off the other side. Same thing over here, they'll kind of wrap around over here, and they kind of come back down this way. So there is some striping that is going on with it. You just kind of want to continue your striping, so it goes up here, kind of goes into the engine, wraps around, and then starts working its way this way, and it kind of bends toward the front. So it kind of bends up, and when it gets to the top, it kind of bends down the other way. So it's kind of angled, all going toward this point here. And this is kind of the same thing that applies throughout it, and the tail here, just kind of a little bit of a brown splotch right in there. But it's pretty straightforward to do. It's nothing too complicated. You can take I'll show you guys a couple different angles if you need to. You can pause the video and try to get a view of that and kind of copy that if you want to do the exact camouflage I did. But that really right there is the general idea of how to go about adding this camouflage. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and again, the best thing to do is to find a real life example picture and go ahead and build from that. So that right there though will pretty much conclude my tutorial here for the OH-1. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do abuse this build, I do ask you guys to give me proper credit for it. This be a link from assign the build, link to my channel, or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, your reviews, if for a project you guys are working on, overall enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. Again, big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. And of course, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 204, and I'll see you guys next time.